how would you define success?
Ooh, I kind of touched on that. To me, success success is going to sleep at night every day wishing you had more hours in the day. Like if you've got to that point, that's a good measure of success, right? Like and so, I think everyone probably says happiness, and that's to me a good metric of happiness as well, right? Like finding something you love to do. Well, okay, here's success is failure, right?
I mean,
or like
in order to get there, you fail a bunch of times. I mean, no one's just instantly like.
Well, and where is there? Like, are you ever perfect? Probably not. You're just like a different, like a.
Are however you it's a journey.
It's like slightly less of a failure each day. You just keep banging your head against the wall and get better at.
I always love the little like Venn diagram where it's like an intersection of like health and like a job and doing what you love, kind of making money, and like it keeps you healthy. And like the intersection of those three is like success, but where you define that for yourself is so different for each person.
Totally. Yeah. Just I mean, a lot of people like link that directly to their job, and like I feel super lucky that I love what I do, but it's but I mean, I have a lot of things that I do that I love that aren't like that I don't get paid for, like the music. Good luck making money playing music. But it's hard. It's it's a long way to the top, as they say, or whatever.
Very few who play music for a profit, but those that do make a significant amount. I don't think I could ever play a musical instrument or sing. So I like totally admire anyone that can even like get up on stage and do that in front of people. Major props to you.
Thanks. Yeah. I can proudly say that I, at one point in my career, was making literally hundreds of dollars a year playing music.
Wow. Whole 3 digits. But if it makes you happy and you have a bunch of fun life stories from it.
Oh yeah,
I mean, everyone
I
needs
do anything different. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like I rolled around the United States for a while, but not as cool as you. So.
Whatever.
I just drove around for the fun of it. I didn't even play in a band. I was just hanging out with one of my girlfriends, driving everywhere. So.
Well, that sounds better than like a van full of like sweaty dudes.
Girls do tend to shower more often. It is a fact. But so being like a little bit more introspective, what is a piece of advice that you would tell your grandkids, like from everything that you've experienced in your whole life? Like what is something that if you could tell them one thing and they would absolutely listen to you, you would tell them?
Ooh, that's a great question. So grandkids.
You haven't thought that far ahead. It's a little bit away.
Yeah. Well, like when I think about being, I think for grandkids, I'd want, again, it's cheesy to say like, oh, just do what makes you happy. But I think it's important to find something that makes you happy and that you enjoy doing on a daily basis, even when you're young, and just keep doing it. And if you want, it's all about repetition. Like think about when you're a teenager, you've got like I think there's truth to that statement, right? If you can dream it, you can be it, or whatever it is. Like you can, it's like if anyone did any one thing for like 30 years, they're going to master that thing or like make something relevant doing that, whatever it is. If they're building something or like learning something, if you spend enough time doing it, you're going to have some success. So I don't know.
The
you
sooner
say?
you figure out the thing that you love and are able to hone that skill, the better, maybe. Something
Yeah,
along
yeah,
those lines?
like figure out how you learn, and maybe that's like academically, maybe not. Like that's an important thing to figure out, because once you have that sort of dialed in, you can use that knowledge to then like focus on something. Maybe what you love to do is learn, and you just have a lifelong learning session. That's awesome. I mean, I guess we all kind of do, but
I mean, I think the day you stop learning is the day you die, right?
yeah,
Should-
yeah.
Even if you don't realize it, I hope you learn something new each day.
Yep. I'm learning how to podcast right now. This is cool.
I am too. This is only my third time.
You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. So what is a big regret in your life?
Ooh, a big,
Just hitting all the hard questions.
yeah, a big regret. I think, I don't, no regrets, right? But I think like, I often wonder like, what would have happened if I had like done the traditional, like, what if I had done computer science like right after high school? That would have been awesome. But then I'm like, well, but then I would have missed like all the cool stuff we've been talking about, right? Like with the sweaty dudes. And so, yeah, I don't know. There was like a period of time in my 20s and early 30s where like I didn't call my mom enough, like, or ever. Now I talk to her at least once a week. So I regret not, and I think I hope that's common. I think it's common.
I call my dad every day.
Yeah.
I might be a little weird, but
I'm like, I shouldn't have been such a like weird, self-centered jerk when in my 20s. But I think that's just that's just a thing that like, humans do in their 20s. But
I've noticed, at least in myself and in quite a few other people, like in your 20s, you're just kind of angry. I don't know why. Not you, but like I've seen a lot of people, and I know from myself in my 20s, I was just a little bit more angry than I should have been, and I should have just tried to be a little bit more zen.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot, 20-aughts have a lot of weight on their shoulders. It's like, I have to figure out what I'm going to do with my life and like be an adult and be responsible or not, like,
I mean, usually people by their mid-30s, I guess, have something figured out or not. So what is something that you see as like a roadblock to technology that you hope gets solved within the next 5 years in your specific area?
Ooh.
Or is that just too weird of a question?
I think we really need to figure out like quantum mechanics as it relates to space travel. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that sounds like a really big problem. Like, I know we just created the first like quantum chip. I was just like, cool. I know a little bit about quantum. I took a nuclear physics class. Like, that's about all you got out of me.
Yeah. Like, and I think we touched on this earlier, but I think I can speak from a context of like the software industry. Like, people need to figure out how to write tests. Just do better with tests.
Just do better.
Yeah, just
try to be better than you currently are. That's all you guys need to do.
I guess that's not industry specific. Yeah, people, listeners out there, just do better, okay?
I mean, if I had to pick something that I'd like ask everyone to be, is just be kinder and more understanding.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's just like everyone makes mistakes. Just breathe in and breathe out and like try to let everything go and not get too upset, because there's a lot.
That's an interesting thing in our industry, what we do just in tech, right? Like everyone is so afraid of like communicating their thoughts because they don't want people to think they don't know something. And the reality is like, we're all learning, like this is all new technology. Like we're blazing the trail, like just speak your mind. And like, that's how you make a better product or like algorithm or whatever you're building, if like you come together and talk about it instead of like the what's the buzz what am I trying to think of? For some reason, I keep thinking FOMO, but it's not fear of missing out. It's imposter syndrome. That's what I was going. Yeah.
That's like a really commonplace. I feel like almost every techie, if I get to know them outside of work, when they think they can be comfortable, that's like the first thing they say. They're like, I feel like I have imposter syndrome. Like, I feel like I have imposter syndrome. I mean, and I've written like a ton of papers and like, I know some things, I don't know everything. And, but yeah, almost every techie, give them a drink and try to get down to like brass tacks. It's one of the first things they admit to. It's kind of unusual. Thanks for listening to Sarah in Tech. Feel free to email me at sarah@sarahintech.net or follow me on Instagram at sarahintech. Hope you enjoyed listening.